Hey guys, we are here with our first NHL 21 GM mode, and we are, as you can see, going to be using the LA Kings. I thought these guys would be interesting to use, as obviously the pick of Quinton Byfield in the past NHL entry draft, and some other good prospects in there as well as we go and review the roster. Goaltenders, obviously, you have Quick, and then you have Peterson. In the system, you have Galchenyuk, Villalta, Ingham, Perrick, and Markkanen. And as for defensemen, you have Bjarnfot, Clegg, Alt, Dursey, Strand, Brickley, Phillips, Movrar, or however you pronounce that one, Spence, Grands. And then on the main roster, you have Doughty, Mata, Waugh, Walker, Anderson, and McDermott. And now at forward, you have Kopitar, and then it drops immediately down to Dustin Brown at 81 overall, Jeff Carter, Alex Iafallo, Adrian Kempe, and Leah Sanderson as well, Ferk, Lazat, Wagner, Amadio, Velarde, Moore. All right, so let's take a look at who are the best prospects we have. You have Anderson, who's only 21, 78 overall, could still definitely be something here for these LA Kings. You have Gabriel Velarde, who's 21 as well, 76 overall. He may end up working out for us. Hopefully he does. Does not look like much else after that as far as forwards in the NHL. Let's go for a defenseman now. You got Anderson, who is a low top four, 21. I was about to say 21 overall, 21 years of age, 75 overall. So he could work out for us if he gets the right growth. Does not look like anyone else in the NHL, though. As for defensemen in the system, you have Kale Clegg, 22 years of age, 76 overall. Dursey, 21 years of age, 73 overall, offensive defenseman. But it doesn't look like he doesn't have a great scheme fit, unfortunately, with our current coach. We'll look at our coach later. Jordan Spence, 61 overall, 19 years of age, medium top four defenseman. Bjarnfot, he's pretty close to the NHL. As a matter of fact, he could probably play this year, especially with that high scheme fit. Yeah, I don't see why we shouldn't be using Bjarnfot this year. And then everybody else is a medium top six or less. So as we take a look at forwards in the system, you of course have Quinton Byfield, who has yet to sign a contract. I believe he did in real life, but not as of this roster. So we're going to have to sign him to a contract very soon. Jarrett Anderson Dolan as well. He's 77 overall, 21 years of age, fourth line forward, so we could use him this year. Grundstrom, 78 overall, fourth line forward, 22 years of age, medium top six. So once again, probably someone who we can use this year. Rasmus Kupari, pretty close to the NHL. Good scheme fit on the second line. So definitely have some pieces here in LA that we could use in the future, for now and the future, for that matter. Arthur Kaliev, 64 overall, 19 years of age, medium top six. Looking forward to seeing how he turns out. Akil Thomas, 20 years of age and a 65 overall, medium top six. Once again, should be interesting to see how he turns out and how quickly he can get to the NHL. So that is our roster. Clearly, we have some work to do, but obviously that is the fun of GM mode. So now what we need to do, we need to take a look at our coaching staff and our scouts. Coaches, I've already gone ahead and fired our goalie coaches that were automatically placed there for us. I didn't really like them, so we'll just go out and sign a couple of new goalie coaches later. I did the same for scouts. I fired all the scouts who had less than a C- for overall. We had a lot of those D- and E scouts, so I just fired all those guys. And I actually already approached, I think, like 12 or 13 scouts to replace them, so we're good there, but we do need to go ahead and sign a couple of goalie coaches. So for the NHL goalie coach, we'll sign Michel Desroches. Not entirely sure how to pronounce that, but that's my best guess. So offer contract to him. And for our AHL, hello? Oh, okay. That's just very slow loading time. I thought for a second that we already ran into a glitch, which, I mean, wouldn't surprise me. But nonetheless, there you go. AHL goalie coach has been offered. So taking a look at the lines here, we obviously need some help. And there was one player I was looking at in free agency who I think will be able to help us not only now, but for the future as well. We'll just take a look at the line chemistry, though, quickly here for all these players. So Iafallo, it looks like he could fit anywhere on the top six. That's good. Kopitar, definitely the first line center, no matter what. I mean, regardless of the chemistry, he's our only player, forward anyway, above 81 overall. But it's a good thing that chemistry works out for him there. Then you have Dustin Brown. he looks like he fits in on the third line there, so we could probably get some chemistry there. Ferk, he fits in on the first line. Don't know if I want him there. Wagner fits in on the first and fourth. Let's get you on the fourth for right now. Trevor Moore, I'll probably end up sending you to the AHL, to be honest. Adrian Kempe looks like he can fit anywhere in the top 9, really. So we'll leave him as the second line center for right now. Jeff Carter, not a great fit really anywhere. Could use him on the third line center, I suppose. Amadio, great fit in the first line. Better fit than Ferk, I believe. Yes, indeed. Much better fit than Ferk. Anderson, great fit on the first line as well. Oh, you actually get a +3 there if you move up Anderson with Kopitar and Amadio. Let's take a look at Iafallo again. We'll put him on the second line, I guess. With Kempe and... I don't know if I want Ferk there. Carter. Brown's got to stay on the third line. Wagner has to stay on the fourth. Lizotte on the second, maybe? Instead of Ferk. That could be good. And then Velarde, I think I want on the third line. Instead of Moore. So we're keeping Wagner. Ferk, I think, can go. Moore can go as well. Well, down to the AHL more than likely. But Ferk can probably be traded. As for defensemen, you have Mata, who, for whatever reason, has the forward scheme on his coaching report. As does Doughty. All right, very nice. So Matt Waugh, he fits basically everywhere. Sean Walker, could probably put him on the third defensive pair. You get a +3 there with McDermott, but I don't really want McDermott. And McDermott also has the forward scheme fit, apparently. Mikey Anderson could fit on the third line. I mean, I might want to honestly send Mikey Anderson down to the AHL just because he's only getting that +1. If we can find a +3 or +5 for him, then that'd be great. But I don't know. I don't think we will. Just given that if we... Oh my goodness. We keep getting the forward scheme fits for all these defensemen. I think unless we can find one of those +3s or +5s for Mikey Anderson, we should probably send him down to the AHL, get some conditioning down there. I don't know about McDermott. We might have to use some of these guys regardless, but you know, I guess that's part of the rebuild. And then in goal, obviously, I have Quick and Peterson. We'll mess with the special teams later. For right now, I want to go out and sign someone from free agency, and that would be Alex Galchenyuk. Now, he wants 2.225 for 1 year, 82 overall. As a second line forward, he's only 26 years of age, which is what I really like about him. And even though this isn't going to help us necessarily now, I mean, it may help us get maybe a couple more wins on the board, but not by much. But the thing is with Galchenyuk, if he finds some really good chemistry with really anybody on our team, if we could get like a +3 or +5 with him on any line, then he should grow a fair amount, and he may actually end up being a permanent top 6 fixture for us for the next 6 or 7 years if we can find that right chemistry, you know? So I think Galchenyuk needs to be signed here. We'll give him a 1-year deal at 2.5. That works for me. Athanasu, I mean, he is a playmaker. We might be able to find some chemistry with him. He's only 26 years of age, so why not? Well, I mean, it's not like we have too many better options, you know? So we'll go 1.75 for 1 year for Athanasu. Yeah, because I want to replace Ferk and Moore anyway, so I suppose those will be the replacements for these two. And I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for Velarde yet. I think I might send him back to the AHL, considering we're not really going to be able to get too much chemistry with him, I don't think. Yeah, as we look around the lineup here, I don't think his best fit is the first line, but I don't know if I even want him playing on the first line, even if he gets a +5 there. So I think for Velarde, he's going to be in the AHL. Power play, special teams in general is going to be rough. We actually get a +5 there on the penalty kill with Anderson, Kempe, the other Anderson, and Mata. So I guess if there's any reason to keep Mikey Anderson up here, it's for penalty kill purposes, but I'm still not entirely sure on him. 3-man penalty kill, that's going to be rough as well. Extras, I don't think chemistry is involved here. No, it is not. And scratch, do we have any scratch players? No, we do not. So what I want to do now, actually, I think for the AHL head coach, I want to get an AHL head coach who is exactly the same as our NHL head coach, Como. So that way we can groom our prospects in the AHL and have them fit on a line, and we'll know that they'll fit on that line in the NHL as well. Como, he's got behind the net, overload behind the net, crash the net. And then for defense, balance, cycle, balance, cycle, balance, balanced. Yeah, I think he's got overload in there. I don't think Como has overload on the first line. Yeah, no, he has overload on the second line. Behind the net, crash the net. Yeah. So we're going to fire Danino, and we're going to see if there's anyone better out there for the AHL head coach. So once again, we're looking for a defenseman teaching specialty, and we're also looking for behind the net, overload behind the net, crash the net, balance, cycle, balance, balance. Defenseman, here we go. So Sarah Bergfors, do you have behind the net, overload behind the net, crash the net? Yes, this is perfect. Sarah Bergfors has exactly the same coaching strategies as our NHL head coach. So AHL head coach for Sarah Bergfors, we will give you as much money as you want just to make sure you sign with us. So we'll give you, I guess that's the maximum anyway. So offer contract to you. We're going to actually have to temporarily assign Hilika as the AHL head coach. So actually what we need to do with Bergfors is she's probably going to reject our offer. And then we're going to have to assign her as an assistant coach. And then we have to fire our current head coach in the AHL, who I don't mind firing because they're not that good. And then we promote Bergfors to the head coach once she accepts our assistant coach offer. Then we're going to have to assign another assistant coach. So that's going to be quite a bit of work. But that's unfortunately how it needs to be done here. With that being said, I don't think there's much else to do here besides simulate ahead and see if we get all of our desired players and coaches and scouts. So we'll skip up to the game against Vancouver. So Derochet has signed with us as our NHL goalie coach. Ozins has signed as the AHL goalie coach. As expected, Sarah Bergfors declines due to the position already being filled. So we're going to have to offer her once again as the assistant coach temporarily, then we'll move her up. They'll give you the same amount of money, same amount of years, just a temporary different role. Offer contract to you. And there is Andreas Athanasiou. He has signed on with your LA Kings, as has Alex Galchenyuk, so we will get them into the lines right away. And actually, are they in the AHL? Yeah, they're in the AHL. So as we move them up, we will send down more. And yeah, I think we're going to send down Velarde. So fourth line center for right now, I will put Athanasiou there. He is definitely not going to be on the fourth line, so it doesn't look like he really fits anywhere. His best fit is the second line, so that's unfortunate. But you know what? I thought we'd take a chance on him anyway. Just may as well see what he is. He's probably going to be a trade deadline, trade bait sort of deal. And as for Galchenyuk, yeah, he fits better on the second line than Athanasiou, I believe. Yeah, he fits much better than Athanasiou. And there you go. Sarah Bergfors has accepted our offer as the AHL assistant coach. So now we'll go back into coaching staff, fire our current AHL head coach, who is not good at all. So we will fire you and promote Sarah Bergfors to AHL head coach. I believe we already have 2 coaches for defensemen in the AHL, so we may as well get one for forwards here. Maxwell looks pretty good. I believe C's across the board. Yep, C, and then C minuses everywhere else. So we will offer you. Oh, and I probably should have showed this at the beginning of the video. So doing things a bit out of order here, but I'll show you guys all the settings that we have. So injuries are on. Period length 4 minutes. I mean, that doesn't really matter for simulation much. But head coach edit lines are off. Fully healed is our injury return warning. So we're not going to be putting guys in if they haven't fully recovered from an injury yet. Don't want to take any chances here. Auto save is off. Auto rotate goalies on. Auto scouting we have on pro scouting only. I find that this year the auto scouts are even worse than last year, if that's even possible. So we're going to do manual scouting, at least for the first half of the year, for specifically for first rounders. After that, then maybe we'll set them on auto for amateur scouting. But for the first, specifically for the first round, I wanted to make sure that all the first round prospects get scouted. So we will be doing that manually. CPU trades on. Everything is medium. Waivers on. Fog of War is off. Gameplay sliders. Injuries are set to 20 currently. I want to see how many injuries we get over the course of the year, and if that's a good setting. If it's like good where it's at, then we'll leave it be. If not, then we could always tune it up or down, depending on what you guys think we should do with that. And as you can probably tell, morale is off. I don't really like morale in this game. So with that being said, we will edit our lines one more time. We'll get Galchenyuk up there on the second line. Athanassiou with Carter and Brown. And then Wagner, Lizotte, and Ferk, I guess is going to have to do, because it's not like we have anybody else that's better. And I suppose this defensive core will have to do as well. I mean, I guess we'll see where Bjarnfot fits in the lineup. And if he gets a good chemistry rating, then we'll definitely leave him in. He gets a +1 with Walker. What about McDermott? Wah. He doesn't get a plus really anywhere. What's his line fit? Oh, jeez. Yeah, you gotta work that out there. So can we see it from here? Yeah, okay. So he fits in best on the third line. Should we use Bjarnfot? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I mean, he does have that high top 6, so he's almost definitely going to grow. I don't know how much we're going to be stunting his growth by having him in the NHL when he's not really ready, you know? And of course, in the system, we always have Grundstrom and Anderson Dolan. Yeah, they're ready, so we could call up Anderson Dolan and Grundstrom. Kupari and Velarde, I want to leave in the minors. Byfield, I think we might just let him tear it up in Sudbury for 1 year. And he has an 85 offensive awareness, so he could certainly get quite a few points, I would imagine, but the issue is the chemistry, right? It couldn't hurt to sign him and at least see where he fits in the chemistry. And if he doesn't fit in anywhere, then no big deal. We could send him back to Sudbury, and I don't think it'll eat up a year on his entry-level contract. So we'll call up Grundstrom, Byfield, and Anderson Dolan, and we will send down... who was it that I wanted to get out of here? Was it Ferk? Yeah, I think it was Ferk. Yeah. So we'll send Ferk down for right now. We might have to get Lizotte out of here too. Back down to the AHL. So let's see where Anderson Dolan fits in. So he's a good fit on the fourth line. As we take out Lizotte, Byfield in. Alright, good. He actually gets some pretty good chemistry here with the scheme fit. So let's see if we can find like a +3 in here. He gets a +3 if we put him on the first line. Now, I don't know if I want him on the first line as a 77 overall, but then again, he does get that +3 due to the chemistry, so that makes him an 80. And then he's also playing with the 90 overall Kopitar. Now, if we could put Galchenyuk there, no. Kempe, no. It looks like he needs another two-way forward there. Iafallo? Nope. Maybe Brown? Nope. Carter? Just trying to find anything that could get a +3 without having a Madio there at the 77 overall. About Anderson. Okay, so Anderson fits. And he's a slight upgrade from a Madio. Alright, so you guys let me know. What should we do with Byfield? Should we have him in the NHL this year? And if he is in the NHL, it's probably going to be on the first line with Kopitar and Anderson, considering that's the only place where he really gets that +3 that we know of at the moment. Or should we just send him down to Sudbury and have him tear it up? So you guys gotta let me know on that. Let me know on, what's his name? Bjarnfot. I guess we'll also see where Grundstrom fits in. So we'll take out Athanassiou for right now, since he doesn't really have good chemistry anywhere. Grundstrom in. Okay, good chemistry on the first line. Do you have a +3 there? Yep. Alright, so we have our options for the first line for sure. But other than that, it's looking pretty weak this year, obviously. So it's going to be a long process here for sure, but I'm very much looking forward to this GM mode. As for Ontario, you have Luff, who has good chemistry on the first line, Ferk on the first line as well, so I might actually keep Ferk, just to keep him in the AHL, and get some of our rookies playing well. So Velarde really fits on the second line. Is there anyone I could put with Velarde? What about Kupari? Kupari fits on the first line. So we'll get him up here with Ferk. Yeah, that's nice. Could I get a +3 there? Potentially? That's a power forward, two-way forward sniper combination. Do we have a playmaker anywhere down here? Trevor Moore is the playmaker, so if we get him on the first line, he doesn't have the greatest fit, but what happens with the chemistry? Nothing. Schaller is a grinder. Alright, so I can't seem to find any chemistry for Ontario at the moment. Or not too much of it anyway. So I think we might have to go out in free agency and just take a swing on some guys and hope they work out for the chemistry. And then defensively, you got a +5 there for Strano and Dirtsy. So that's good. We want Dirtsy growing. Blake, I want to try to find a +5 for him as well. What is he? Defensive? Two-way defender? Would he work with Dirtsy? Nah. I'd rather keep Dirtsy there with Strand. Get that +5. And then goaltenders to get Galchenyuk and Villalta. And scratch. Is there anyone scratched here who shouldn't be? Top 9, medium top 6, Ahl Thomas. All right, we got to get him in. Jordan Spence, we got to get him in as well. Calif, we got to get him in. And I don't think there's much else I can do as far as chemistry for the AHL. And actually, Luff does create that +3 there on the first line, so I don't know what that was all about. Maybe a glitch or something with the line chemistry, but there's a +3 there for Luff, Kupari, and Ferk. Other than that, I think that's all we can do for this episode. I mean, we may as well sim through preseason, see how we do. And we get Maxwell for our AHL assistant coach. And we have finished the preseason 3-4, so looking like a rough year ahead. But I'm optimistic for our future. I suppose right now that's the best we can hope for. So I'll leave you guys off there. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we start the year 1 simulation. See you guys then.